Hello everyone and welcome back. Guys, today we're going to be repurposing this iPad 2 into a full HDMI monitor. Now, you may have an old iPad laying around, an iPad generation 1, or even sooner, where the batteries have died or the dreaded activation lock. You may have forgotten the password, and because it's an old password, you are now no longer able to recover it through Apple. So instead of these going to e-waste, let's repurpose some parts. And today I'm going to show you exactly how you can do it. And there's all means of ways and boards, etc., for you to be able to do this with. And today we're going to be focusing on this iPad 2. If you've watched the channel before, you'll know exactly why I'm having to use this one. Basically, I got scammed on this one on eBay. You can see here it is an A1395 model. And yeah, it came to me activation locked. So we're going to make do with it, and I'm going to use it to turn it into a monitor. Now, to do that, I'm going to use something that you can buy exactly like this. It's a housing. On the end of it is a HDMI, VGA, there's a headphones jack, and then your DC 12 volt input power there. And basically this is a driver board. And you can buy it as just a driver board. It even has inputs on the back, the buttons here, see? Up, auto, has all of this all built in. And you can buy just the driver boards themselves without the surround. But I thought, well, if we're turning it into a monitor, I'm going to want something to be able to mount this with. You can see the mounting screw holes here on the back for you to be able to mount it to a stand or even to a wall if you really wanted to. It's there and able to do. Now, we'll talk about this a little bit later, but this whole thing was free postage. It did come from AliExpress. You can get them in other places like Amazon, eBay, but they are a little bit more expensive. Obviously, with AliExpress, you do have to wait a little bit longer. However, this came for me in less than 10 days. So I didn't think it was too bad, and it was well worth the wait because we get to do this with it. You have this little cable here, which will actually plug into the screen of the iPad 2. Now, the iPad Generation 1 and the iPad Generation 2 do use the same screens. However, there will be a driver board for each one of your iPads. So make sure that the screen is going to be compatible with the driver board itself. Now, the difficult thing about that is that to find the actual model number of your iPad screen, it is on a sticker on the back of the LCD screen, which means you have to take it apart. However, I did actually buy this for an iPad Generation 1. That was my original plan, to use one of them. However, because of the situation with this, we're going to try and use this. So I'm going to take it apart and hope the screen is there. It should be. They are the same, so it should be absolutely fine and compatible with this board. So it's nice and easy to get into it, but we'll talk about this later. You just take off screws on each side, the front lifts off, and it actually has built-in sticky tape on the double-sided sticky tape on the inside here, so the screen will just stick straight in. So without further ado, first thing we need to do is we need to extract the screen from this bad boy. So we're going to go ahead and get that done. Okay guys, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is we want to apply heat around the edges here of the bezel, because it's stuck down, this glass part here is stuck down with an adhesive. So we need to try and loosen it. And as we go around and loosen it, you're going to want to use a suction cup. I've literally got one of these sets. It is a 122 piece set, and it was extremely cheap off of Amazon. And in here you get like suction cups, you get the guitar picks as well to help with the levering, and the little spudges as well. So as well as obviously the screwdriver, which you are going to need. So you're going to want some stuff like this before you go and do it. And obviously when I say apply heat, what they're always going to recommend is for you to go and use a heat gun or something like that, or a heated pad or something along those lines, which we don't all have. So just use a hairdryer and just work your way around, give it some heat, and then you just want to try and prise up the edge with one of these, get a guitar pick in, firstly, and then work your way around the edge. Be careful of the button. Obviously, it's not a massive deal if you crack this top glass and damage the button. You're not going to use it. But if you are looking to extract it for a battery or something along those lines and take the battery and whatever and maybe reuse it to change a battery, then obviously you are going to want to be careful. But it's not a massive deal. You could also resell the parts like the digitalizer and bits and pieces if you're just taking out the screen. So it's just an idea. It's not a massive deal if you crack all this glass. It's easier if you take it off in one go rather than cracking it, because it's easier to take off in one piece. So be careful if you can. Okay guys, so you can see I've managed to apply heat and lift up this corner now. And as I'm doing it now, I'm just gonna work my way around, unpicking and lifting. And just keep applying some heat as you go. You will get there. It does take a very long time to do this, but once you get the first bit in there, you know the game is on and you're in. Just keep going. As I said before, guys, when you're going around like the button and the camera, if you do want to reset it, just be careful. Don't go in as deep as you do on the other parts. Just slightly glide over it. The adhesive is literally only in this part. Okay guys, you can see we have it off, and see there is one cable here for the digitalizer just under there, but in essence we technically don't even need to connect that. It is actually below the LCD screen, so we could just pop the screws out here and just be careful that we take out the screen. So this stuff like this is one of the I believe it's like a, I don't even know what this was actually for, but it was actually stuck to both the top and the actual screen itself. So as you go around, just be careful, because there are a few bits that are stuck on the actual frame and also onto here as well. So I believe they're just, it's like a positive pad there. I'm not really sure, right at the bottom down here, I'm not really sure what that was actually for. But let's first go by taking out these screws to get out the LCD screen. There's probably a few bits that we will have to take out in the interim to actually be able to get this out. Okay guys, so it's just the 4 screws, 1, 2, and then there is 2 on the chassis here, and it will seem a little bit sticky still, and it just lifts up like this. There is still adhesive on it, so you've just got to be very, very careful. And you see this catch here, that's where you're going to have to then this one here, this is the plug ring interface, so it all folds up towards, so if you're holding the iPad upright, it all folds to the left hand side of the iPad, including the digitalizer as well. That cable, you just got to be careful, is in that far left hand corner when you're taking off the screen. So let's unclip this little catch here, and then we will take out the thing. But you can see the battery here, see, just 3 parts for the iPad 2. They are stuck down and adhesive, but changing that, you'd have to do all of this just to change that as well. But there you go. Let's unclip that screen. So just to unclip the screen, guys, is this little metal lever, and if you just get a little spludger under it, it just pop up, and that's it. It is then released, and you can then slide this tab out. But just make sure you're very, very careful when you are lifting and unplugging this tab, because this is probably one of the most, these 2 cables, to be fair, this cable isn't, it's this cable up here that's going to be the most important part to it, because that's where you're going to be plugging in the driver board up here. But to get to that one, there's loads of things here, so you need to unclip this one as carefully as you can. Firstly, LCD screen is removed, and we just need to get under this bit under here to remove this cable, because that's where we will be plugging in. We need this connector just up the top, right up here. But let's just take a moment to admire Apple's handiwork here. It's clever. Like that is the tiny little logic board there. So, but for the time being, we don't need any of this. So we're going to remove it all to the side, and then make sure you lay a cloth out to put the LCD screen down face first, because you do not want to damage this This is the most important bit. Okay, guys, so the screen's here, and actually, it's actually a simpler thing. There's this tiny little bit of black tape. You just pull that off. Connector's here, and it's exactly the same thing. So there's a tiny little spring catch. There you go, pop. And then that cable will just pull out. And this is the connector cable. We're not going to need this because we already have a connector cable in the thing, but how amazing is that, right? Very clever. Guys, just for reference, this LP number here is going to be your reference to the driver board that you're going to need. It needs to match this screen. So just make sure when you're buying it does match that part there. Okay guys, so screen's all there. I've just moved it to one side for a minute. Always keep it face down on a cloth if you are going to do it, or something soft. We're now going to move on to this, because what we just need to do is take this front plate off. Just so, well, it's actually taking the back plate off so we can actually sit the screen inside here. So there's just screws on each edge. There's actually 2 on each side on this. So let's get taking these out. What I always use as well is with this set that I got, it came with a little magnetic pad, which I've actually just put here, and the screws won't go anywhere, sat on there, so I know I'm going to lose them. At the top of that pad as well is the iPad screws that kept the LCD screen in as well. So I'm going to go around and take all 8 of these screws. Okay, so that's off, so we should be able to just now push the back away like that. Just be careful on this edge where you lever it off, because this is where you have these parts. So we can actually put the back again to one side for a minute while we work with this. Now, what I just need to figure out, so you see the double-sided sticky tape in here, I'm not going to stick it in until we've at least tested it and make sure it turns on and no signal bit comes through, and then we can go full steam ahead. So I need to figure out if that is going to be like that, what way I want it to be. So this cable actually can be at the top or the bottom, it doesn't actually really matter. However, what way, we don't know what way this screen is going to turn on. That is the question. Before you stick it down, make sure that it is straight in here, because look, there's a little bit hanging over there. So before you do the actual sticking part, make sure it does go straight. However, as I said, we're going to just plug it into this, the screen straight into this first, and just check that it's going to work. And obviously we just got to make sure we plug this connector in the right way. So on this connector, it's going to be really hard for you to see on the camera, but there is really only one way where the pins go down. If you plug it in the wrong way on here, you basically run the risk of crushing all the pins. I'm just going to have a look and figure out how to plug this in just on this connector here. Okay, so we have some signal input, guys. So it's as simple as that, guys. Get it all in the case, get it all set up, put it wherever you want it to go. This video didn't exactly go the way I wanted it to go. So the board that I have in that case seems to be faulty. So luckily you get free returns on this, and that is exactly what I'm going to do. But just for the purpose of this, I used one of the other boards that I've got, but it doesn't come with one of the cases. It's the same thing. It actually has a little bit more functionality. It just doesn't have the case, and I could probably fit it and build it into that case for the purpose of things. But look, I just wanted to show you how this is possible to do this. You can't win everything, can you? You just can't. This is how the game goes. We have a working screen, we have it into the board, you can put it in your case, and away we go from there. This one still has HDMI input, it still has VGA input. It actually has way more connectivity than the last one. I will quickly just unplug it and let me show you what this one is. This is the one that I had planned to use actually inside the photo frame. So you have it's exactly the same thing, except it's not in the case. So you have like the switchboard, but you do have on this one, you do have the individual jacks. You have the TV aerial tuner USB, which is why I thought this one would be really good for like a photo frame, because you have so many options, including plugging in a USB, using the HDMI, but you could also have it in a photo frame and also have it to be able to play play TV as well at the same time. So I thought it'd be a pretty decent board to use. But guys, it is what it is. I'm gonna have to send that case one back. I don't know why. I think something is shorting out on here. When you plug it into the DC, it does smell a bit warm. I'm not gonna lie, it does smell a bit warm. But I'll let me show you. Let me move this one out. Let me move this one back out of the way. So I've just got to be careful, obviously, because it is plugged into the screen. So carefully pull that out and move that to one side. But I thought, oh yeah, I knew this was going way too well, and it just does nothing. There's no LED light on the board. You won't be able to see it plugging. For some reason, the DC wire on this is short, but on the back, there's no power lighting or anything. The LED is not on. So I don't know. I don't know what is going on. I could take the board out and I've just a quick check at connections. I did have a very quick look, but I could not see anything whatsoever wrong with it. So again, I thought I would just try it out of the board, out of the box case completely. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's shorting out against the case or something. We'll see. Look, no LED light. There is no LED light here, which the other one had an LED light immediately. And there is a smell coming from here. So we'll unplug it. You win some, you lose some with this board. I'm just going to have to send this one back. Or if they will send me out a replacement board, potentially they might do that. So we'll see. This was more of the thing of repurposing these screens. We showed you how to take the screens out. We showed you what to do and how to do it. It's just a shame about this, and it was more of a getting this video out to you as well on how to do it and what you can actually do. But it also shows the real side of things as well. It's not all sunshine and rainbows, is it? So it is what it is. We got one of the boards working, and we're going to go further with that one. I'm still going to turn that into a photo frame. I'll figure out what to do with this. I'm going to see if I can get a replacement board for that. But this is how you do it, guys. But guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below what you think of this method. Obviously, it's a shame about the board itself, but it would be good once it's up and running. But there you go, guys. Hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that like button if you have enjoyed the video. Guys, go check out the merchandise. Tech Talk Dad collection is there for you to go and grab. And guys, if you want to support the channel even further, then do consider being a member. Hit that join button, come and join the family, and get early access to videos along with other perks along the way. And I will catch everyone in the next one.